Hey friends, Lucian here with the Bullish Bears team. I wanted to make this video because I'm seeing all this craziness all over social media about the Bitcoin crash and the stock market crash, people freaking out, people losing their life savings, and I'm not trying to make light of it or anything. I just want to show some charts here, show you that just again, with Bitcoin, the market, everything is risky. If you don't know what you're doing, having your life savings, I'm seeing people losing millions of dollars or entire life savings in Bitcoin, even in the market, and they're invested risky at the very tops of both of these markets. And even though Bitcoin and the stock market are different, they still both show patterns. You can't hide patterns from the charts, and it's astounding with a lot of the Bitcoin people. They pretend like charts don't exist, that they're hocus pocus, that they don't matter. But with anything, whether it's Bitcoin, pot stocks, the market, any sector, energy, gold, everything has a chart. The whole adage, the whole saying of buy low, sell high, buy at support, sell at resistance, that requires a chart. That requires support, resistance, patterns, and that is candlesticks, which is made up by price action. So how do you know when to buy low and sell high for profit? You need to understand price action, candlesticks, and patterns. So I'm going to make this video. I'm going to show you here the stock market or the SPY overall. I'm going to show you Bitcoin, just show you the chart so you could have seen this stuff coming. And hindsight's 2020, so you can know what to look for moving forward. But I'm going to show you that these things are not a surprise. So as tragic and as awful as when the market and Bitcoin drops as hard as it does, it wasn't a surprise, right? You might not know the exact day, but you can know within probably days, if not a couple weeks at times, through the price action. So this first chart here is Bitcoin. It's just tracking the market of Bitcoin /BTC. And you'll see right here, this is a daily chart of Bitcoin. I'm going to show you the stock market or a SPY in a second. You're going to see it's the same thing. Both were at severe resistance levels, really overextended, and it was warning you that this was going to happen. So you'll see right here, this is kind of a rising wedge kind of pattern right here on a daily chart. And you'll see before it dropped over here, look left, right? What happens in the past affects the future. So this is what happened on Friday. But if you look left, this was previous resistance right here, or all-time highs. And you'll see right around that $125,000 mark, whole support level, major resistance. These resistance levels many times happen at these whole dollar amounts. So you'll see if you put resistance right here and put a line, it extends out to the future, right at this $125,000 level. And you'll see price, what happened, it went up. It had several green days. You'll see kind of a cup pattern, double bottom pattern formed. And price went and it broke above this level at all-time highs, right? And it went up to and created a new level at this 127 level, right? And you'll see the next day it came down and it failed 125,000. So you'll see if price is going to go and break resistance and it doesn't hold at a major all-time high with no other area of resistance above it, this after several green days, it's no surprise it's going to pull back like that. And not only pull back, it can pull back really hard. And the bounce on Bitcoin wasn't surprising because if you look at right here, this trend line, this base connected to this base, look at where it came down. Bounced right above this level right here. And I put this kind of this yellow level here because you got to watch and see. I don't know what was going to happen with Bitcoin next. It could keep falling, or if buyers come in here and buy around the support level, if it holds support, this might be an area to buy. And then you look at these other areas as resistance, right? Buy low, sell high, support, and resistance. So again, I don't know what Bitcoin's going to do moving forward, but it's not a surprise that you'll see this angular resistance level out to the future. Price failed to hold there. It failed to break and hold this cup pattern. And then what did it do? Now you have this head left shoulder, you had these two consolidation candles. So there was this warning right here where it failed the cup breakout. Then you'll see these two candle warnings here below 125,000 looking left, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So it gave you warning, first one when it failed the cup, and then these two candles patterns right here are these two candlesticks that couldn't hold that 125,000. You have a head, left shoulder, right shoulder, and boom, failure right back down. And now you got to watch and see what's going to happen. You see head, now you have left shoulder, head, right shoulder, left shoulder. And so we got to watch what happens. So again, I want to show you that this was not a surprise that Bitcoin was going to drop so hard like this, just like the same with the SPY and the market overall, which I'll show you that chart. Now you'll see here the SPY, this is almost even more telling right here. Different pattern, but still telling the same story. Look at this right here on the SPY, which tracks the market overall. This crazy rising wedge pattern right at this apex point. And you'll see angular resistance, angular support. See these support levels kind of going out here. Lines extend to the future. Price is at this apex point. Several consolidation candles, and price is not breaking out of the rising wedge. Rising wedge is a bearish pattern, even though it's bullish for a while, because price is eventually going to, not always, again, you got to watch, typically fails and falls out of that apex area. So you can see this nasty red candle, and where did it fall to? Right down to previous support levels, right where these doji candles are, right here. What happened here? This support, look left, right, from here to these candles, comes right down. That's why it's no surprise that it fell to this area. Then you have some other areas of support here. I don't know what the market's going to do on Monday. I don't know what's going to happen and moving forward, but what we do is we watch these levels, watch to see if support will hold, if a reversal candle will form. If so, if it holds support and reverses, then support, angular support will go out to this area, and then you'll watch these levels above as resistance. But the same thing with the stock market as Bitcoin. The stock market was at all-time highs, no resistance right below a what? Whole dollar amount, 674, half dollar amount, 674 below that 675 level. And price is right near that apex, or couldn't, it's not breaking above that major 680 level. These consolidation candles are warning you, and boom, it falls back down. Now, if price goes up and gets a bounce, now you got to look left shoulder area, right or head, left shoulder, and then it would need to break above this level for the right shoulder. And if it continues, then you got to see it break above all-time highs. So again, moving forward, got to watch the patterns. That's what we teach you in our community, price action. We have candlesticks, courses, an ebook. We have regular courses to help you. We teach this stuff, price action, in our community. It's not hocus pocus. Everything requires a chart. Everything. You don't buy and sell based upon a guess. It's ridiculous. There's a lot of people doing that, and I see a lot of people posting they lost millions of dollars in their life savings, and I'm just saying to myself right here, why would you have your entire life savings risk at the top of a market here, right? Why would you have it risked at the top millions of dollars of a head and shoulders on Bitcoin, right? Risk management. So to have your entire life savings in anything without any diversification, it's a gamble, right? So the stock market, yeah, it's, maybe a little less volatile than Bitcoin, or a little bit more, I'm not going to crap on Bitcoin, but, maybe it's worth more long-term, I guess you'd say. But Bitcoin, you can still buy and sell and trade Bitcoin, and maybe it'll be great long-term, and it's still, it's not like it's over with. Bitcoin will probably still go up in the future, but again, you still got to know these charts, which is so important. Now I'm going to show you the same thing that happened back in 2020 when the other major crisis happened that we all know about, right? Another thing that wasn't a guess. In the same exact setup, just a little different, but it's the same thing. Back here, look at the warning. If you go back on the SPY here, This is why we didn't have to guess when these things happen. If you go to right here, and I connect these levels right here, right out here. Oh, actually, you know what? Same, well, that's another channel, but let me go back a little bit right here. Look at this. Okay. All right, so I got these yellow, well, it's kind of yellow lines right here, but you'll see right here, let me change it to black. Click apply, save as default. Okay. My ADD won't let me go forward until I do this, or OCD. So take a look at this right here, rising channel. This is going into 2020. You see this major drop right here? Well, if you look right here, it's another rising channel. And again, it's basically another rising wedge pattern. Look what happened. You see this week? This is a weekly chart. This is a weekly candle. This is a bearish Harami setup right here. It's warning you. All-time highs, right? At the time here, this stock market was at all-time highs going into an election. We all know a lot of controversy back and forth and a lot of people going into, right? You know, everything, the momentum was high. Stock market was at all-time highs. Everything's going great in the stock market. Bearish Harami warning at the top of a rising wedge. So this stuff right here happened based upon this warning, and this is a giant warning. Again, stock market at all-time highs. What was happening now? Stock market at all-time highs at the top, or a top of an apex of, at the peak of an apex of a rising wedge pattern back then during COVID. What is it doing now? Same thing. So I wanted to show you this stuff. Look at this, see? Same exact thing. So you see this, go back here on the weekly chart, rising wedge pattern. Now let's look at the weekly chart here. Let me clear these drawings and show you right here again. Right up here. Boom. See that rising wedge? And, you know, so you could say, well, this one caught me off by surprise. That's a weekly chart, but there was warnings like I showed you on the daily chart. And, you know, sometimes you get a little warning and it'll go up a week or two and then fall. That's why it's not, you might not get the exact day right. But when you start seeing stuff up like this and these warnings right here, you don't want to have your life savings up in these areas, right? So again, all about support, resistance, patterns. So you'll see that was the SPY. Going back to Bitcoin, we'll look at Bitcoin real quick again. Hopefully this is helping you to see this stuff, because this is what's super important to learn when trading, right? You'll see right here, weekly chart. I did everything based on the daily chart. Price hitting angular resistance, kind of a rising wedge-ish pattern. It's not at the total at apex, but it's hitting this angular resistance. It was overextended, and now we got to watch down here what happens. So again, I don't want to like make light of people losing their life savings. So obviously it's tragic when that happens. But if you have millions upon millions of dollars and you have it all risked in Bitcoin, and you have nothing saved, and it's like this gambling mindset. It's absolutely crazy, right? You got to buy low, sell high. If you want to get back into Bitcoin or trade Bitcoin, we'll watch. You know, obviously it's really overextended now. It's you know, it's really a lot of money, but it doesn't mean like it's over and this is a crash and it's never going to go up again. But you got to watch the charts, see if you get some support that holds here, and then if it holds here and you were to get an entry, let's say in Bitcoin here, then you look at these areas above as resistance. You buy low, sell for profit, let it come back down again, buy and sell. But a lot of people just hold. And I mean, like if you're buying like, you know, in all these areas and then you you're just expecting it to go to the moon without watching price action. That's just gambling. You don't want to do that with Bitcoin, the market, gold, anything, right? So that's my rant. I got a little fired up on it because I'm just looking at social media and I'm just like, we want to protect people. We teach the right skill sets in our community on teaching you how to trade, right? What the skills that we teach with price action, you can apply to whatever you want to purchase, whether it's Bitcoin, gold, pot stocks, regular stocks, managing your 401k. This is the stuff that you need to learn so you're not caught off guard, and you can't hide things from the charts. So these billionaires and stuff, they can't hide it from the charts, right? So they leave these clues, and they leave the clues by the buying and selling. So all this buying and selling is the culmination of everyone on the planet, including all the billionaires, and they leave these clues on the charts called patterns or candlesticks that form price action. And this is what helps you determine how to buy low, sell high, manage risk, how to learn how to trade, invest. This is everything. It can't be hidden from the charts. I'm super passionate about teaching this because this is essential to everything. This is, again, no different than the 2020 surprise, the 2008 surprise, and it'll happen again. So when people say the market's manipulated, Bitcoin's manipulated, and everybody's out to get you, yes, the whole thing has got manipulation, right? Everything, the stock market, all of it. But that's investing, that's trading. So you can either complain about it, fight it, or learn price action and risk management and play the game, right? And that's where, it's gambling if you don't learn it. So that's my rant. Hopefully it helped you. We are the Bullish Bears. We're all about teaching people how to trade and manage risk and teach them the proper skill sets on how to learn this stuff. So we have a candlesticks ebook, we have wallpapers, courses to help you, and then we also have trade rooms and a trading service. So come and join us.